So this is the heating system up here.
All right, let's see what you got. So you have an air handler, and that has a blower fan inside of it that's going to push the air up into this duct. You can see there's flexible supplies on each end right here, and those go down into the second floor. Now all the air that has to come back to be reheated or recooled is going to come back through these flexible returns right here to the bottom, and the cycle repeats. Now this is not a gas furnace or an oil furnace, it's actually a heat pump. And for that it uses these refrigerant line sets that are connected to a condenser outside to either heat the air or cool the air. Now today we're going to introduce a humidifier, and there's a couple things we need. We need water. Now I can see right here you've got a water heater up here, that's great. We need electricity, it looks like you got plenty right here. And we need a drain, okay? And I can see there's a drain already in place right here. That's the good news. But the manufacturer of this steam humidifier wants to be sure we introduce steam in the right place. When I look at this duct, imagine what happens. When that fan is on, the air pushes up here and it hits the back here and it gets the air very turbulent, very confused. If I put steam right here, there's a good chance that all that condensation could fall right back into this, and we don't want that.
Is that fixable?
Well, actually it is, but what we're going to have to do is to change this ductwork and modify it so it goes over to one side so we can introduce the steam and all the air goes by in a nice organized way. Great. This is a pretty big job, so I asked technician Ryan Gunto to lend a hand. We'll start by detaching the flexible supply ducts. Then we'll disconnect and remove the old sheet metal trunk and build a new one. This drive cleat will hold these two pieces of trunk together tight. And that's why they call it tin knocking. Good. So we have a series of flexible supplies that we have to connect into our main trunk. And for each one of them, we're going to use one of these. This is a takeoff. It has a balancing damper inside of it right here. And it has a sealant or adhesive right here that'll make a nice tight seal to the duct. I want to cut a perfect 4-inch hole. And for that, they have a special hole cutter. You can see there's a pivot point right here, and there's a special drill bit right here that cuts on the side. So now I put it down inside. All right, how's this fit, Ryan?
Looks good over here.
Good. So this elbow has these louvers in them. They're called turning vanes. That'll help that air leave the air handler and really smooth out in our new trunk right here. We'll attach these 12-inch takeoffs, just like the smaller ones, using an adhesive strip and self-tapping screws. All right, Cindy, we've made a lot of progress up here. Remember, your ductwork used to come off the top and went both ways. Right. Now we come in one direction here, nice solid trunk. You can see the flexible connections are made. And this is your new whole house humidifier right here.
Great.
Let me just pull the cover. And the way it works is there's a reservoir right here. And that is half filled with water right there, and there's an electrical element inside of it. Now that element will get the water so hot that it'll turn it from water to steam, and it'll leave out through this insulated hose.
Okay.
Now this will automatically refill itself.
Oh, okay. So is there anything I need to do to maintain it?
Not really. The only thing is if you had high minerals or hard water, over time that electrical element might get burned out like a coffee machine does.
Okay.
But that element is replaceable.
Okay.
So now, here is the wand right here. Now the steam's going to come up through that hose, and these little holes will be sitting right in the airstream, and the air will go across it and absorb every bit of that steam into the air.
Okay.
So we have to think about the right location. We want to be down a couple of feet would like to be up about 1/3 of the way. And I could go right here, but where I'm going to put it is actually on the back side right here, because the great location for the humidifier is right here.
Okay.
That'll minimize the amount of run for this hose. Once I get it mounted, we can run the water.
Great.
We've cut in on the cold water feed to the water heater with a separate shutoff and a 1/4-inch copper feed to our new humidifier. So Ryan, this unit's got a drain, right?
It does, which is very important because this unit will sense the amount of minerals that build up in the cylinder, and if it gets to be too high, it'll flush the cylinder.
That's great, so it'll help keep it clean.
It will.
All right, so we'll connect that drain down into one of these drain connections here.
That's correct.
Perfect. All right, Cindy, we've made our final connections.
Okay.
Here's cold water into the humidifier. Here's the drain. Leaving the humidifier, we've got this insulated hose with steam going to the wand. We also brought a licensed electrician in. He added a separate circuit right here, and that gives us 220 volts from this panel over to the unit. And we've also got a couple of control wires into the back.
Oh, okay. So how do we control it?
Well, there's a couple of safety devices that are up in place that you don't have to worry about. One is an air proofing switch. We want to make sure the humidifier doesn't come on unless the fan is on.
Okay.
And the other is a high limit. We want to make sure that not too much humidity gets up in this ductwork. But those are hidden away. You don't need to worry about them.
Okay.
The control you do need to think about is down the first floor. So Cindy, down here is a device that everybody knows. It's a thermostat, senses temperature.
Sure.
Right above it is the new device called a humidistat. It's going to sense the humidity in the building.
Okay.
So you'll set it to the right level, and it'll bring on the humidifier, and it'll actually bring on the fan as well.
Okay. So what level do we keep it at?
I like to see 35 to 40%.
I agree with that.
Okay, but you'll get to know the right level. I also want to caution you, though. You don't want to set it too high, because in a nice, tight, insulated house, you can have actually mold if you put too much humidity in there.
Oh, okay.
You don't want that.
No. Well, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it, and I know we'll be more comfortable if we can get rid of the portable humidifier.
Yes, you can.